Hi, I'm Jen Peters. Hey, look, I thought I'd do something a little bit different today, and I'd give you an opportunity, if you'd like to join me on a journey into your subconscious mind where we will connect with one of your inner children, because the truth is that we have actually, most of us have like a whole family of inner children. And as you'll probably know, that it's our inner children that sit within that are holding on to old trauma and old patterns that are keeping us stuck, playing out the same old cycles again and again and again. So I'm offering to actually take you guys through a process where we're going to connect with a part of you that feels abandoned, might feel really alone, feel unloved. From that often comes unworthiness and being undeserving in different ways. So if you'd like to join me, hop on over to IGTV and I'll see you there. Cool. Hey, thanks so much. So just a couple of things. Firstly, this will probably take around about maybe 15 or 20 minutes. So you want to make sure that you've got a little bit of space to do this process without being uninterrupted. Probably goes without saying, but of course, if you're driving or anything like that, please don't do this process because we are going to bring you into a completely different state, very meditative state, okay? So that would be a little bit dangerous. So before we do the process, I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview, okay, of knowing what to expect. And I also want you to, just turn this off. I also want to just let you know a little bit about inner children so you know what I'm actually talking about and you don't know already. So basically, when we're younger, in fact, even from the time that we're in the womb, when we experience trauma that is significant enough, a part of us becomes almost frozen in that stage. You know, you might be in the womb and that part of you will be, there'll be an emotion, whatever emotions you were feeling at that particular time will become frozen and stuck, and that's what's being triggered. When we're children, it's exactly the same. Something might have happened between mum and dad, or something might have happened to you that was significant enough that whatever you were feeling at that particular time when that event occurred has now become stuck and trapped inside your body. So a huge amount of work that I do, like I do lots of different things, but this is a massive part of it because it's so transformational. And when we have trauma stuck in our body, we also have different patterns or beliefs that are attached to it as well. And what we will notice about it when we dive in is it will be usually an inner child, not always, but most of the time it is a child version of yourself that's the same age that you were when the trauma actually occurred, that's sitting there. So when we do inner child work or shadow work, I'm going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to connect with this part of you that's been split off or disassociated. And we're going to give that part of you a voice. We're going to let them know that we see them, because the truth is that part of you has actually been abandoned. Okay, so we're going to give them what it is that they need, what they didn't get at that time, and we'll give them what they need to feel whole and loved again, and then we'll reintegrate them back into your body. Okay, so if this sort of work is new to you, just know it's very gentle, very beautiful. You may have the occasional tears come up, and don't mind me, I quite often do too, because I can usually see whatever it is that you're seeing or experiencing. But that's okay, because it just means that there was those emotions that were sitting in your body and it's just rising. Okay, they're just rising, so that's all good. So what we're going to work on today, so I'm just going to put my oils on. I always like to use oils when I start a process. It's just one of my little rituals. I'm using lotus oil from my favourite place in Thailand. Okay, so what we're going to do first is I want you to follow along with me. Now, we're all different. Some of us see, some of us feel, some of us hear, some of us just know. What I want you to do, if at any stage you are feeling like you can't quite see or connect to what I'm suggesting, I want you to imagine that you can. I know that sounds really odd, but it actually bridges that for you. And instead you start imagining that you can see or sense what I'm suggesting, then you will actually start to connect with that part. Okay, so it just helps bridge that for you. Right, so we get started. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to connect with a part of ourselves that feels really abandoned. That part of ourselves feels lost. It feels really alone. It feels really unseen. This part of you feels it feels abandoned. It might feel rejected, might feel unworthy. So I want you to connect with a part of yourself now in your body that feels abandoned, feels alone, feels unloved, feels very unseen and maybe misunderstood. I'll give you a minute to do that. And you'll notice a wee bit of a charge in your body where this part of you is sitting. Good, good. Now I meant to say at any stage you need more time, just pause the video and come back to us when you're ready. So now that you've got that part of your body, you know where that's sitting. Now it might be more than one place, if that's totally cool. What I want you to do though is I want you to focus on the part that feels most intense to you. Good. Okay. So now that I've got that part, I want you to notice in that part of your body, what kind of physical sensations do you notice? Often there might be tightness, there might be heaviness, there might be bits in your throat. You might be feeling like having a lump or a fist in your throat or something tight around it. Good. Really good. Now I want you to dive a little bit deeper and I want you to notice what emotions or feelings are sitting in that part of your throat. Sorry, of your throat, of your body. Good. So there might be feelings of, as I said before, abandonment, feeling lost, feeling alone, maybe unseen. There might be sadness. There might even be fear or anxiety. Just check in and see what feelings and emotions are sitting there. Good. Do you notice any more? There might be deeper feelings sitting underneath. Good. That's really good. Okay. So now that we've connected in, you've got those physical sensations sitting there, and you're now aware of the emotions that are sitting in that part of your body. What I want you to do now is I want you to dive a little bit deeper, and I want you to just notice. You might be able to see or feel or sense. And I want you to notice the younger version of yourself sitting in that part of your body. So you might see an image of a child version of you. You might just get a sense of them. You might be able to just know that they're there. You connect them now, and if you can't connect with them directly, I want you to imagine that you can connect with a child version of you. So there's another part of you that looks just like you looked when you were a kid. Good. And I want you to notice, how old are they? It might be an age range, that's totally fine. Good. Just trust that whatever number comes up for you is correct. Good. Sometimes you might have more than one too. If you've got more than one child sitting in there, or even a teenager, I want you to connect with the one that's the most, the strongest. There'll be one of them that really stands out to you. We'll just roll with that one. And I want you to notice, what's the scene? Are they at home? Are they at school? If they're at home, whereabouts are they? Are they in the kitchen? Are they in the living room? Are they in the bedroom? They might be outside. Just notice, where is this child version of you? Cool. Good. Okay. In a moment, we're actually going to talk with them. But what we're going to do first is I want you to connect in with them. And I just want you to get an idea, if you can, of how are they feeling right now? What's going through their mind? What's going on for them right now? Good, really, really good. Do you get any more, another sense of anything else that's going on for them? Great. If you don't get a sense right now, that's totally fine. We're going to talk to them in a moment, so get a better idea then. Great. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go to that younger version of you. Okay, and I'm going to lead you all the way through this. So you're very safe. It's a very, very beautiful thing that you're doing right now, okay, for that part of you. Because that part of you feels really lost. They feel misunderstood. They feel abandoned. They feel unseen. Okay, so we're actually going to bring them the things that they needed at that time and didn't get. Okay. So what I want you to do now is I want you to imagine or see yourself going to this younger version of yourself. Now, if they're really little, it might be entirely appropriate that you pick them up, you might hug them or cuddle them, put them on your knee. If they're a bit bigger and it doesn't feel quite right to do that, then don't. Just maybe put your arm around them or kneel down in front of them. The key here is we want them to know that you see them and that you're there to support them, okay? Because they feel really alone, they feel really abandoned right now. So we want to make sure that they know that they're not alone anymore. Cool. So now what I want you to do is I want you to say to them, it's okay, I'm here now. And you can do this out loud or in your mind, but just let them know that I'm here now, you're safe, I see you, and I'm not going to abandon you again. Mm. It's really beautiful. You're doing a beautiful job. Well done. Okay. It's really cool. I can see a lot of what's actually happening here. It's beautiful. Thank you. Okay. So next thing we're going to do is, if you've got a sense of how they were feeling before, you get a sense of how they're feeling now, what I want you to do is we're going to actually play that back to them. So we're going to let them know that I know you're feeling really alone, but I want you to know that I'm not going to leave you alone again. I'm always going to be here for you. Or if they were feeling afraid, you might say to them, I know you're feeling really afraid, but I'm here now. You don't need to be afraid anymore. So I'll give you a moment to do that. Great. Doing really well. So what I'd like you to do now is that this little one, they weren't given a voice. No, they were never given the opportunity to be seen for who they are. They've not been given the opportunity to speak up and to be heard. They might not have felt like they got the love or the care that they needed. So what I want you to do is I want you to ask them, what is it that you need to share with me? What do you want to tell me? Just see what they say. Okay, so what we'll do now is we're actually going to play back to them what they said. Okay, so just like before, if they said, nobody wants to play with me, I think there's something wrong with me, or I'm really confused, I don't understand why this has just happened. What we want to do is we want to take what they've said and play it back. So we might say, I know that you feel really confused, but I want you to know that I'm here now. So you don't need to worry anymore, or you don't need to feel confused anymore, because I'm going to look after you. If they feel like there's something wrong with them, I want you to tell them that I want you to know that there is nothing wrong with you. Okay? You're beautiful. You're an amazing little boy or little girl, and I love you so, so much. I also want you to let them know that what is happening for them right now is not about them. It's actually about whoever else is involved. Okay, this isn't their fault. What is happening is not their fault. Okay, so let them know that. And I also want you to let them know that they are worthy of being loved and they deserve to be loved. And you will never abandon them again. Great. So I want you to invite them to share with you again, just in case they've got some more stuff on there. So just ask them again, what else do you want me to know? Good. Okay. And once again, depending what they've said to you, I want you to play it back to them and let them know that they don't need to feel like that anymore, because you're here now to love them and to see them and to give them a voice. Great. How are they feeling now? Just notice how they're feeling. Great. Great. Now, if it's appropriate and it feels like a resonance to you, okay, if it doesn't, you don't need to do this, okay? But often there has been some kind of exchange, there has been an event, something that has happened to cause this trauma and these beliefs within you, okay? But what I'd like you to do, if you feel comfortable, is you may wish to invite the person in. So it might have been mum, it might have been dad, it might have been a sibling, it might have been someone at school, it might have been somebody else that hurt them. So if you'd like to, you can actually have the opportunity now to actually say the things that you needed to say to that person, but you didn't get the opportunity to do so. So all we need to do is we just need to imagine that the other person that was involved that you need to speak with is in front of you. You can sit them down on the floor if you want, so that they're lower than you, or you can make them really small so that you, as the child version, feels bigger and feels more empowered. But I want you to give them an opportunity to speak to that person and say the things that they need to say. And you'll be with them, it's perfectly safe. Just let them do that now if you feel called to. Good. It's really good. If you need more time, take more time. That's totally fine. If not, we'll carry on. So we'll just allow that person to leave now. And so one more thing I'd really like to do is that this younger version of you has probably created some rules or some beliefs about themselves or about what they need to do. And it might be stuff like that they're always alone, or that they can't trust other people, or they need to perform in a particular way in order to be seen and to be loved. Or it might be something around it's not safe to be who they are. They've actually got to be somebody other than themselves. Like they have to, as I said before, perform really well, or they have to people please, or it might be that it's their job to fix others. So just check in with that little version of you and see what beliefs and patterns have they formed about the situation, about themselves. Okay, cool. So I want you to let them know, and you'll probably notice these patterns playing out in your life now, okay? And so this is where these patterns came from, okay? So what I want you to do, depending on what the patterns were, I want you to let them know that from now on, they don't need to do whatever it is that they've been doing, because you're there to look after them. Or from now on, they don't need to be a particular way, because it's time for them to speak their truth and to be seen, and that you will love them no matter what it is they do or they don't do. You'll probably notice some relief from your little one. Now they know they don't have to do these things, and it's just safe for them to be who they truly are, and that you will always see them and love them anyway. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in some healing energy. Okay, I always like to start with the violet light or the violet flame, because it alchemizes and transmutes negative energy into positive. So what I want you to do is I want you to imagine this little version of you. I want you to imagine violet light streaming down on top of their little head, down the sides of their face, and you'll see that beautiful shimmery violet light moving across their shoulders. And I want you to see it really settling into their throat, because they have the right to speak up, they have the right to be heard, and they have the right to be seen as well. So let's see that beautiful violet light settling into their throat, across their shoulders, down their arms. Let's see that violet light moving down through their chest, see it settling into their heart. Let's just also notice it as it settles into their heart, because they have the right to love and to be loved. Good. Now see that beautiful violet light moving further down through their body, and see it just settling into their solar plexus, around their diaphragm area. They have the right to be a powerful being. They don't need to be disempowered. They have a right to be empowered. Good. Great. Now let's see that beautiful violet light moving down into their sacral area, which is below their belly button. And again, let them know that they have the right to feel joy and to feel all emotions. They have the right to create the life that they want to be living. Good. Now let's do that beautiful violet light moving further down their torso, and see it settling into their root chakra. And just let them know that they have a right to exist, and they have a right to feel safe and secure. Good. Let's bring that violet light move further down through their legs now, all the way down past their knees and down to their feet. Good. So they're now wrapped up in a beautiful ball of shimmery violet transmutive light. Great. Okay, so I'll give you an opportunity to choose another colour that they might like. We'll actually finish on a pink and a gold, so maybe don't choose those just yet. But if there are other colours that come to mind, what I want you to do is just trust whatever colour comes up for you, and then I want you to see that colour coming down to the top of their heads, from the sides of their face, across their shoulders, settling into their throat, down through their arms, to that beautiful colour and a beautiful shimmery light, all the way down through their chest, down through the rest of their torso, down to the legs, all the way down the legs and out through their feet. Good. So I'll get you to choose one more colour. Great. Excellent. So whatever colour that is that you've chosen, just bring it down to the top of their little head, down the sides of their face, and just notice it really infusing into their beautiful little body. Good. So it's not just sitting on the outside, it's actually getting in. Great. See that colour moving across their shoulders, down their arms. And see it coming all the way down through their little body, down through to their torso, down through the legs, and out through their feet. Great. Good. Now we're going to bring in a beautiful diamond white light, which is also very powerful energy. Let's see that beautiful diamond light coming down from the top of the head, down the right sides of their face. I notice lots of little shimmery diamonds swirling around in that beautiful energy. See it across their shoulders, down through their arms. Just know it's cleansing, healing and uplifting their energy field. So that beautiful diamond white light coming down through their red chest now, down through their body, down to their lower torso, down through their legs, and out through their feet. Good. They'll be feeling a lot lighter now. And now let's bring in, I love to use soft pink and gold together because it's basically like your unconditional love, but a lot more powerful. It's got the divinity in there. So let's bring in that beautiful soft pink and gold. So that beautiful shimmery light coming down from the top of their head, around the sides of their face, across their round, just see it settling into the throat too, and across their shoulders, down their arms. And just, I want you to notice this beautiful soft pink and gold energy just settling right into their body, and it's really infusing every part of their being. You see that beautiful soft pink and gold coming down to the chest. Just see it settling into their heart. Good. Because they deserve to receive love and to give love. Good. They are worthy of being loved. Great. So that beautiful soft pink and gold coming down into their solar plexus now, around their diaphragm, and down to their sacral, below their belly button, down to the base, at the base of their spine. And see that beautiful soft pink and gold coming all the way down the legs, down to the feet. Good. So they're now completely immersed in a beautiful divine love. And I want you to notice, how are they feeling now compared to how they were feeling before? Can you see the shift? Yeah, good. Oh, I see them letting go of almost strings, like balloons on strings, and I think each of those strings are representing old beliefs and old patterns that were related to this particular trauma that they've been carrying. So you'll notice that some of them probably, they may have even gone to sleep. They often do, because basically this inner child has been working really hard inside of you. They've been playing out the same old patterns that kept them safe, that they believed kept them safe at that time. Except now that you're an adult, you don't need those patterns anymore, okay? So they're letting them go. And the fact that they've gone to sleep or getting really relaxed tells us that this healing has been effective, and they're ready to actually let go of that trauma and the patterns, okay? So what we're going to do is, I like to shrink them down small, like just imagine them inside this beautiful, or your own sphere of soft pink and gold. And we're going to shrink them down, we're going to pop them into your heart, and when you do that, I want you to say to them something, and like feel free to make up your own words that you want to say. But we want to let them know that, once again, that from now on, that you will always see them, you will always give them a voice, you will never abandon them again, okay? And that you will keep them safe and protected. And I want you to also let them know that you will always, always love them and honour them. Good. And you will never abandon them again. Good. If you want to say more, just pause the video and do that. Great. And the last thing we want to say to them is just to let them know that it is time for them to rest. If they weren't asleep already, they will probably be now. Good. And I want you to just pop that little sphere with them in it, all surrounding that beautiful soft pink and gold. And I want you to pop it into your heart, okay? Where they are no longer separate from love. Good. Great. So just taking a deep breath. And so what we've just done is we have identified part of you that had been split off, and that part of you that had been split off will have been being triggered whenever you came into contact with an event that felt similar to what caused this trauma in the first place. And you would have also been playing out those patterns, okay? And you would still be playing out those patterns. So what's going to happen now? An orb, sorry. What's going to happen now is that whatever was triggering you around this before will not trigger you anymore. That energy has been dissolved and healed, and you have also dissolved those patterns. So going forward, whatever would have triggered you around this before won't trigger you, and you'll no longer be compelled to fall back into those same old patterns that you were doing before, okay? You'll be free to create new patterns that serve you better, okay? So just a couple of things before we wind up. Only another minute or so to go, but I just want to let you know what to expect. So you may find yourself a little bit tired because, I know it sounds odd, but that inner child was actually you. You just got bigger, that's all. Okay, so they'll be really tired, they'll be really sleepy, they've been working really hard to keep you safe for your whole life up until now. So they'll be sleeping for a few days, and you'll notice each time you check in with that part of your body and check in to see them, you'll actually see that they'll be sleeping, and then maybe in a week's time you'll notice they're not sleeping anymore. It's really fascinating. But as a result of that, you'll probably find you sleep really well tonight. You, on very odd occasions, you might, the next day you might feel slightly fragile. You might feel a little bit of the abandonment or the little feelings that were coming up before. You may feel them as they're actually coming through. Just know that what's actually happened, you're not going backwards, it's actually being released from your body. Okay, so it is a good thing. But if you are especially wobbly or especially fragile, just drop me a message, just DM me, and I can send you some energy and just smooth that out for you. So one last thing is that we don't just have one inner child, we have many inner children. Every trigger that you have, you'll have an inner child, or maybe another split-off version of yourself, maybe even an adult, but usually child. So this work is highly transformative, because as you can see, we dissolve the trauma that was causing you to be triggered, and we also dissolve the patterns that were keeping you stuck. So if you feel that you might have other triggers in other parts of your life and you actually want to dissolve them, you've now had a taste of actually how easy it is to do when you've got the right tools, how gentle it is, how beautiful it is. And if you want to talk with me more about that, just drop me a note and we'll start getting you unstuck from those cycles and out of that space when you're getting triggered. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Much love.